12th in the World Cup standings. She won't be thinking about that. She will be thinking about the other three team members. And away she goes. 6 kilometers the distance to be covered. Anastasia Kuzmina of Slovakia. 3 podiums so far this season in individual races. She's done exceptionally well to finish leg number 1 in 2nd position, ahead of Germany, ahead of France, ahead of Russia. She's taken some big scalps today. 16.5 seconds the margin. The Swedes with Zidek on course now, and this is another big question mark. What sort of form is Zidek on? And with Magdalena Neuner of Germany starting just a second behind her, that is going to be an almighty battle that might well determine who wins here today, because Sweden and Germany, despite being 25 seconds down on Norway, will still fancy their chances of taking the victory. Romania, an outstanding performance for them on leg number 1. They're ranked 23rd in the world, and Eva Tafalfi has had the race of her season to put them up into 6th position. Belarus now relying on Daria Dalmracheva, and the Gasparin sisters hand over to one another. And away goes Elisa, the younger of the two, in 7th position. Belarus with Dalmracheva in 9. Finland just inside the top 10. The Poles, China are going well, ahead of France at the moment. The French 1:18 down. Just looking at their shooting record, they've required just 4 spare rounds, so the same shooting as Sweden, but they're a long way down. I suspect that Marie-Laure Brunet had a mechanical problem, because I can't see how she's lost so much time on Sweden's Helena Ekholm. Brunet, of course, top 8 of the World Cup standings at the moment in the women's tour. There are the top 10 in the mixed relay with 1 leg complete. Norway, Slovakia, Italy in the medal positions at the moment. Just 25 seconds separating them. But as we expected, 6 or 7 teams with the potential to win here in this opening event. The USA, well, I had a chat with their coach and said, what will you be happy with? And he said, if we beat our bib number, we'll be satisfied. They're wearing bib number 12. They think a top 10 is realistic, but they're quite aware that for the first time ever, this is the strongest possible field for a mixed relay, and the strongest we've ever seen. Flatland looking very smooth. So much is going to come down to her shooting. She should, if she holds on to this lead, have lane 1 all to herself. Well, a good start from Zidek, who has pushed the pace, but an even better one from Magdalena Neuner. No surprise to see Neuner working her way up into 2nd. She's already closed down 3 seconds on Flatland. Now, Neuner has to be a little bit careful. She is such a crucial player in the German team today. Germany with Pfeiffer and Grice taking legs 3 and 4. Neuner is capable of taking a minute out of everyone else on this 2nd leg. If she does so, Pfeiffer, Grice, well, that's going to be a duo that are very tough to catch. Ideally, we want Flatland and Neuner to finish this 2nd leg together, because then you have the Bjorndal and Pfeiffer battle and the Grice versus Bow. My goodness, all those men in the top rankings at the moment. Prone position for the first shoot of each leg. Three spare rounds, remember, should she require them. "15 seconds the margin between 1st and 2nd. A chance for Neuner now to close the gap. That's good shooting from Flatland. Only 1 required, so up to 10 seconds thrown away. Neuner, slow and deliberate. This is a very intelligent shoot from Magdalena Neuner. She's gone clear. The gap will be closed without a doubt. And that means Germany are now looking very dangerous indeed. Zidek of Sweden skiing a little slower than Neuner, but she hits 5 out of 5 to close down on the leaders, Norway. Slovakia having a few problems now. It was a fantastic leg from Kuzmina, but I think they always knew they were going to fade, but not in this fashion. A penalty loop now incurred by the Slovakians. Well, that's desperate news. Jana Garakova. Now Finland and France with a chance to get back into it. Belarus are going well. Domracheva, so solid. That's a really good shoot from her. It'd be interesting to see whether she can get back on the podium. Of course, medals out in Vancouver last year for Domracheva. France, they've had Brunet, Dorin on the range at the moment. That's much better. If only Brunet could have done that, the French would have been right up there with the leaders, but the margin is going to be significant this early on in the race. Norway and Germany separated by 13. Germany and Sweden, well, they're separated by 11 seconds. And then the Italians only 39 seconds off the leaders at the moment, as you can see. Belarus still in there with a chance. The Finns with Mäkäräinen on course at the moment. Mäkäräinen, who led the World Cup standings for so long, overtaken by Henkel in the last round out in Fort Kent in USA. 13 seconds was the margin when Neuner came out. She's cut that almost in half over the last 400 meters. Neuner really starting to push the accelerator now. Norway and Germany leading. Sweden still there in third place. Remember, the Swedes who won the title 2 years ago. Welcome back. No change in the lead as yet. It's still Norway ahead of Germany, with Sweden in third place at the moment. But Germany certainly looking as though they may well lead into the stadium and the range for the 4th time in this mixed relay. So important that you don't lose touch on the first 2 legs. That is what this game is all about. Now, Flatland and her standing shooting. Well, we're going to see exactly what she's made up of over the next few minutes. Needs to just steady it down. She doesn't want to worry too much about Neuner, who's coming up behind her. Neuner actually shooting much better over the last couple of months than she's done in the past. Had a good record out in Fort Kent, not so good in Presqu'Île. Flatland, on the other hand, generally hits 4 out of 5 in the standing position. And if she does that again in this stand, only takes 1, possibly 2 spare rounds, then the race is on. I think the smart money would be on Neuner leading into the exchange at the end of leg number 2. This is another new section of the arena that's been built over the last 3 or 4 seasons. You can see that the track up on stilts. Fantastic coverage of the event. 36 cameras out, and we're on the spider camera, as they call it at the moment. Now, big moment. And she wants as little to be going through her mind as is humanly possible in this sort of a situation. It's going to be Norway in lane 1. Neuner of Germany in lane number 2. Neuner, of course, the winner of the overall World Cup last year. Double gold medalist from Vancouver as well. First shot's crucial. Well, that's fantastic shooting from Magdalena Neuner, and when she shoots clear, Germany have such a good chance. Now, the question is, what will the margin be? This needs to go down from Flatland. She's broken the position, rebuilt it for the final shot. Only 1 mistake today, but it's cost her around 7-8 seconds. Watch the clock. Neuner is away and clear, and she's already flying around the stadium looking for the exit. Sweden with Zidek. Now, 1 mistake is 1 too many, you feel. 2 could be crucial. Belarus with Domracheva, Finland with Mäkäräinen, and the Italians with Katja Haller. Sweden with Ferry and Bergman on legs 3 and 4. Now, this would be a disaster should Sweden end up on the penalty loop. They're certainly going to drop down 2, 3, possibly 4 positions, and the last one's gone wide for Zidek. So it's 1 penalty loop for Sweden, and their chances of regaining the title that they won 2 years ago is fading rapidly at this stage. Now, team 4 are France. Marie Dorin. French suit changing over the last couple of weeks. I think there was a fair amount of protest in the French team at their World Cup suit, but it was very distinguished. Now in the red and black. So the targets go down, but 3 more rounds, so 25, 26 seconds thrown away, and now that margin is growing and growing. You certainly need to be within 2 minutes of the leaders at the halfway stage if you want any chance of taking victory. Norway have dropped into second, 12 seconds the margin. How much time can Neuner pull ahead on the last 2 kilometers? Certainly she's capable of taking 10 seconds per kilometer when she's on her very best form. Whether she can do that today, we're going to find out. Mäkäräinen, 49 down, has put Finland into the bronze medal position, and the Finns, well, they might fancy their chances of staying in the top 3. They're ranked number 17, so it's an outstanding performance so far. Purinen and Anttila taking legs 3 and another penalty loop, and there is stony silence all the way around the Jäntti-Mänsisk Stadium. The host nation are having a nightmare. The defending champions, on the other hand, are looking very, very good. 1:18.17, the winning time almost a year ago on these very tracks in Jäntti-Mänsisk was the winning time for Germany, who on that occasion finished ahead of Norway, who are currently in second place, with Sweden third last time around. 21. So already 9 seconds lost by Flatland on this final lap. It's Germany in control at the moment. Welcome back to Jäntti-Mänsisk. This is the view with Norway now in second place. Flatland starting to look a little heavy-footed as she tries to work her way back to the stadium. Magdalena Neuner, on the other hand, is flying around this last lap. Sweden didn't get the best of starts. Helena Ekholm with 4 spare rounds required. We've just managed to get her for a quick chat. Let's find out what she has to say about the tracks.
Range. How is your first impression on the range?
Yeah, it was windy, but I cannot blame the wind for my mistakes. I was just a little bit too stressed.
How is it? Have you found your rhythm here at the World Championships? Is this a good start for you?
Yes, the skiing feels really good, and I know that I can shoot, so I'm looking forward to the next competition.
Thank you very much. All the best.
Well, let's hope so, because when Helena Ekholm is on form, she's one of the most exciting athletes that we have here at the World Championships, and I guess Sweden's best chance of taking gold medals. They might have blown their chance in this mixed relay. Just looking at Sweden's position at the moment, remember they were in third at the start of this leg. They're now 1:26 behind, down in 6th position, and a long, long way adrift of the race leaders, Germany. Magdalena Neuner coming into the stadium to hand over to Arndt Pfeiffer of Germany. A man who is on fantastic form in Presqu'île. There he is. Can he rediscover that form that he showed in the northeast of the United States just a month ago? He's strong and he's aggressive. He's the perfect man for the third leg of a relay. It's a good run by Flatland. She was given a healthy lead by Tora Berger. I don't think anyone expected her to stay ahead of Neuner, and that hasn't happened, but no real damage done. Norway going out less than 25 seconds behind Germany. 24.7 the margin, and it's the great Ole Einar Bjorndalen who has to claw that time back on Arndt Pfeiffer. But we've learned 1 or 2 things today. One is that Tora Berger is on sensational form, and so is Terje Boe. He looked tired in the United States, but he has excelled himself here today with a fantastic performance, pulling back a margin of 21.9 seconds on Mickey Grice. There are very, very few men in the world who can do that, and very few who can hope to do that. a sensational run. So gold for Norway, silver for Germany. Henkel, Neuner, Pfeiffer, Grice. It sounds like a winning combination, and at one stage at the end of the third leg it certainly looked as though it was going to be a winning combination, but they